We, the people of this planet, must unite and realize that we are being screwed 7 ways to I don't know where. We will not take this anymore. We are the guys that make the decisions. We, the people. We are the power. Power to the people.
Power to the people!
Fucking right.
Okay, great.
Good one.
Nice talking to you.
Okay.
It's warm. Yeah, there's an oven in there and candle lights and whatever in there. There's a candle over on the right side. Yeah, there's some people living in here. It's warm, an oven and everything, and a slide if they want to come in from upstairs.
Shut up! Good shake up! Good shake up! Good shake up! Good shake up!
Fedt, mand! Stay! Stay! Der kommer lige om 2 sek. Fedt, mand! Stay! Kom maar daar! Jeg er overhovedet ikke sulten. Jeg er så meget punch. Det var godt. Jeg synes, det er halvt. Nej, men det var jeg spise så meget. Der var så god mad. Så pandekager og pølser og hele året. Det er så skov. Jeg kører lige lidt musik. Ja, lige pludselig. Ja, så det gør vi.
Jeg har noget, vi gerne vil sige til jer. Jeg har noget, vi gerne vil sige til jer. Og det er... Vi har kun ét liv. Vi har kun ét liv. Og det er kun os selv. Der i sidste ende. Er ansvarlig for det. Ingen andre. Vi er i gang med Globale forandringer.
Globale forandringer.
Og vi vil spørge dig.
Og vi vil spørge dig.
Og dine nærmeste.
Og dine nærmeste.
Om I har lyst til at være med i det her projekt.
Og vi har lyst til at være med i det her projekt.
Vi er ikke kommet for at stjæle.
Vi er ikke kommet for at stjæle.
Vi er ikke kommet for at manipulere.
Vi er ikke kommet for at manipulere.
Vi er ikke kommet for at overbevise.
Vi er ikke kommet for at overbevise.
Vi er kun her med vores hjerter.
Vi er kun her med vores hjerter.
Så jeg spørger igen. Fra mit hjerte. Og ved at kigge dig i øjnene. Har du lyst til at leve som et helt menneske igen? Ligesom da du var barn. Med alt hvad det indebærer af indrømmelser. Forsoning og forståelse. Eftergivenhed og passion. Kærlighed. Åbenhed og tak. Hvis du er enig. Og ellers i alt. Hvad du ved. Er til gavn for livet. Og andre mennesker. Så er det bare om. At komme i gang. Ved at skabe forandringer.
Occupy Wall Street is a very interesting movement because it's everybody brought together. It's just everybody being frustrated over the system. They come from the left, they come from the right, they come from all different colors and all different rich and poor. There's a lot of different people, and that's what makes it so strong, I think, worldwide.
Okay.
It's everybody, because everybody knows something's wrong with the system, but we've been divided.
Are you Danish?
I'm Danish. Yeah.
Okay. This guy here is a nice guy. He's kind of tired. He wants to leave the country because people are all brainwashed. What do you think about that?
I think that's true. I think in Denmark the system has taken over our education, our media, everything for decades now. So free thinking. Danish people think they have free thoughts and they think it's a free world they live in. And they don't realize that we've all become repeaters because we're just repeating what we saw on television yesterday.
Okay, but how do we get out of it?
I think people are waking up all over the world. That's what this movement about. There's a lot of other movements about. And,
See, this guy, he's optimistic too a little bit.
Yeah, of course, people are waking up, but it's waking up. It's not. They have, it's not woken up. You understand the difference?
Oh, they're on their. Isn't that the best thing? People are on their way.
Yeah.
That's even better than
the optimistic side is that things are changing, because if you look at the world, it's been ruled by the elite for thousands of years through kings and everything else, and we're still ruled by the elite.
Yeah.
And the thing is that now people are starting to realize that, but they all come to different conclusions.
Maybe
what
the
to do
elite
about
will
it.
fall off the cliff. Who knows?
Yeah, I think they might need a little push.
Yeah, well, anyway.
But there is also all the people who actually have stood up for it. Have gotten killed in the end. All the ones who really had a say, they got killed. So it's like, people. Once you get big enough to actually say something, once you say it, you get shot the next day. Like Martin Luther King, Kennedy got killed. The Israeli Prime Minister, it was the biggest sign of hope for peace. Then he got shot. All of them, they got shot. So slowly, everybody, they've stopped thinking about how to make the world a better place. Let's just live our life, have as good as life as possible, and that's it.
Hey, to me, there's a kind of a historical line going from Gandhi to Martin Luther and the civil rights movements and peaceful demonstrations to the Arab awakenings and Tahrir Square in Egypt and the occupation that we're having right now. This is a peaceful tradition that is moving somewhere, which I think is a good.
I think
the directions are looking good.
The thing we have to figure out is what you want to do about it, because everybody got a solution, but it's so minor in numbers that none of it will work. I think you asked before, I was listening about the banking system. I think what we have to realize, I think before anything else, is the problems with the central banks. Right? The central banks are basically private organizations. If you look at the Danish National Bank, it says on the website it's an independent organization. The American Federal Reserve is an independent organization.
That's the 1%, less than 1%.
So it's run by people outside political control. So I mean, us as people have no influence at all over what happens in those central banks.
The 99% have to do something about that.
And you have to look into the central bank system, because someone has actually got the monopoly to print money out of nothing and then lend it out to banks and other people at interest. Yeah, that has got to be the most unfair system ever thought of, I think. If you think about that, somebody can sit and buy themselves
print as much money as he wants,
and then they get interest from lending out that money that they haven't done anything to work for. They haven't earned it. They don't own it.
It's a printing machine. It's a printing.
So we have to come to terms with the central banks to understand how crooked really the whole banking system is. And I think some of these people on Wall Street is interesting, because they're sort of targeting the problem towards the banks that we know, the big international banks, and they are of course a huge part of the problem. But we have to take it one step further and say, where do they get their money from? They get their money from the central banks. So if you want to have a mortgage, if you lost your house or whatever because of the crisis, you can't go to the central bank and get free money at 0%. But the large international banks, they go all the time and get billions and billions of dollars at 0%. So we have to realize how crooked the system is. And of course the simple solution is, why do we have central banks to print money, and then the governments have to pay interest on that money? If the governments print their own money, there will be no interest. So when people start realizing how the banksters actually took over our governments and got the monopoly to print the money, we can just change the system, take the rights back to print the money, print the government's money, and we don't have to pay the interest, because most of our taxes go to support the interest on the debt in almost any country you look at it today. And look at Greece is a typical example of a country where it goes over the cliff. And the whole Western world is being pushed in the same direction.
Hey, do you believe that I've heard that these banks, they deliberately seduce as many people as possible into taking loans that they never can repay. And then they get a debt. They get debt slavery, debt serfdom, as some people call it. And when they are in total debt to the banks, then their house, even all of Greece, everything can be confiscated. The corporations can totally own Greece and do any fascist thing they want with the whole country. That might even happen if things get, they look way out in the distance, it looked like even Denmark could get into some situation like that if it isn't stopped.
But this is the basis of the whole system. If you look at the world today, everybody's in debt. Maybe China has a few $trillion. If you look at every person,
they have financial bubbles in China, and it's a capitalist system. It will go the same way.
You look at every person has debt, with mortgages, with cars, and everything else. Every single company has debt. They go to the bank and borrow money, have a lot of debt to run the business, and every single government is in debt. How can that be? If you think about it, if there was a fair system, there would be as much debt as there would be assets. But there isn't. Why is that? That's because the central bank prints the money. There's nothing to back that money. They print more and more money, and the interest, just as you're explaining, is to push that money out to the people, because they have the money and they don't pay anything for that money. It's just something they create. So the more they can get people to take their loans, look at the crisis in America or all over the world with the housing crisis. For 5-10 years, they're pushing loans out to anybody who will sign a piece of paper, whether they have jobs.
And they do it deliberately.
They do it deliberately because we have been indoctrinated to think that the money system is something where somebody gets something and somebody pays something, and it's a one-on-one transaction.
Right.
We haven't been told the whole story, which is it's not a transaction. It's somebody pushing debt out to the people so that people are basically enslaved by the debt. Take the student loans in America.
Yeah, the college loans.
Everybody comes out of college with a huge debt. Yeah. When I went to college, we had no debt when we came out of college. We had to do our work in the summertime, or we had weekend jobs. But now people come out with huge
old enough
debts.
to be. We were lucky. We were lucky.
You were lucky.
How do you come out of young college? And actually quite vulnerable.
Yeah. You come out of college with a huge debt and no job. You know, how can that be a good system? Why is that? That's because the government has taken over education. There's no free education. There's no competition. Everything is just pushed up because the idea is get people into debt. Because when we're in debt, we have to go to work every day, we have to pay our taxes, we have to pay our interest, and we're basically easy to control.
Okay, we got to wrap this up. We've been doing a lot of good talking here. You guys, absolutely great. Hey, how do we? What's a good conclusion on this? What are we going to do? Now in a few minutes we'll say goodbye to each other, and what are we going to think about until the next time we meet here? Next Saturday.
I think we have to do exactly what we're doing here. We have to educate people.
Yeah, we have to spread the message.
As long as people don't understand the system they're living in, there's nothing we can do.
So we have to keep talking, discussing these things, and
we have to discuss with anybody who wants to discuss it. But we have to do it peacefully. We can't push it on people. You can't go out there in the middle of Stroy and
we'll be shot or run down or stabbed.
No, but not so much that. I think from a compassion or a conscience point of view. You know, it's not fair to push things on people they're not ready to hear.
Okay.
You know, if you live a life, if you're one of these people getting married, and you have a good day in your life because it's your marriage day, who am I to go and spoil that day for them? That wouldn't be love. You know, they deserve their day in the sun. I think, and I'm happy for them.
I'm almost tempted to give you a kiss, but
we can do a hug.
Okay, you'll get a hug instead. Okay. Hey.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Okay. Keep it up.
We're spreading the message right
here.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good stuff.
See you. Okay.
I want to see the interview. Why can I see TV?
You're actually doing some filming yourself a little bit about this stuff. You're putting it on the YouTube?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's good.
My channel, Broken Peter 23.
So that means you put you said there's a lot of importance to communicating what's going on in Copenhagen.
I think that the internet is it's the best invention since the wheel and the fire. You know, I mean, this is truly people connecting.
Okay, yeah,
in a real and meaningful way. And this is something that was not planned by anybody. It just turned up.
And this occupation, I heard initially that there were about 1,700 places on the whole globe that were connecting. Initially,
yes, they are.
That is a hell of a lot of places.
I mean, that's it. People are. I mean, look, we just had an election in this country, okay? And so, like, am I going to press the red button or the blue button? Is that democracy? Is that democracy?
Direct action is what you want.
That's what we want. And I'm going to say, when all is said and done, when all is truly said and done, if democracy could change the world, it would be illegal. You know, I mean, democracy, that's two wolves and a sheep voting about what they're going to have for dinner. Like, you know, I mean, really, you know.
Okay, okay, direct action, peer-to-peer, person-to-person, that's the kind of relations that you're promoting.
Well,
right?
Exactly. Well,
and
I mean,
what about
if you excuse me a second, I mean, the thing is, the thing that's real is the people that you can reach out and touch. This is what's real. This is what's real. This has reality for me. This has reality for you. And maybe if I say the wrong thing, I might end up with a black eye. But at least that's, you know, I mean. You know.
Okay, person to person, people related directly. What about the banks and this person to person thing?
See, now I am a lucky guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I am a lucky guy. The
You're
banks,
alive and kicking.
The banks would never piss on me if I was on fire. You know, the banks, they don't want anything to do with something like me. I'm a no-count, goddamn good for nothing. I don't have anything. I don't own anything.
So they don't want anything to do with you?
They won't loan me money. They only loan money to rich people. You know, that's what banks do. What do I need a bank for? Oh yeah, I need a bank. If I'm down in the salt mine shoveling shit from fucking 9 to 5 all day, I have to, because they're not going to pay my wages out in Krugerrand to me, like, you know, they're going to put it in, so that means I have to be a part of the system.
If I haven't misunderstood anything, then I think everybody in Denmark is obligated to have a bank account.
Everybody.
It's not, there's no free choice.
No.
So, if you want to get around the big banks, what do you do?
You whistle through your teeth that's what you do.
Which bank are you forced to take? Is that Nordea?
Well, no, I'm not forced to take any bank. I mean, as such, I can choose my own bank. And I've got my bank, I mean, to say the stuff where I'm still waiting for my wages to go in, I mean, to say, like, is the Danish bank, which is I suppose, the biggest.
It's called
bank.
Danish Bank. I
Danske
think it's owned by foreigners.
Probably it is. Probably it is. I wouldn't be a bit
Hey,
surprised.
about 3 weeks ago I was down here, and somebody was saying, hey, get away from the banks, go into the alternative banks, Fælleskassen, you know, the rainbow banks and all these other banks. Get into those things instead. Have you thought about that?
Yes, I have, but the thing is, I see them going down like popcorn cracking in a fucking pot, like, you know, they're all going down. I mean, so there are no more small banks. They just can't, you know, they can't handle it. You know, and there, of course, that's why the bailouts and all that stuff. And
do you think they will go
bankrupt?
Hey, will this bank go bankrupt before the big banks? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not saying anything specific about who's going to go where and
because
how.
In my opinion, the small banks are going to survive longer than the big ones.
Well, I would hope so. But the thing is, maybe the small banks have got something that the big ones don't have.
The credit
They've
banks,
got the personal touch.
And they got the people right. It's
They've
local.
got the personal touch.
It's much closer
and that's
to the
it.
people.
We've got we've got to get away from the centralization. We've got to go down to the local thing. That's where I'm coming from. I mean, so, I mean to say if there's anything like, you know. I mean, what am I saying? I want my welfare paid out in Krugerrands. Like, it's not going to happen. You know?
Okay. Hey, have you ever heard of the Bitcoin revolution? The Bitcoin?
The Bitcoin?
Yeah, the Bitcoin revolution. It's you've never
Try
heard
to
of
explain it to me in short term.
Right. It's a banking, a transference of currency from person to person, completely circumventing the banks.
And nobody
and there's no
tax,
no charge, nothing.
Right, yeah.
It's just an instant.
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
It's it's the internet digital system, technology that the Pirate Party.
Oh yeah, okay. I want a T-shirt like that.
Yeah, the Pirate Party is promoting this, and among other places.
I'll have one of those T-shirts.
Hey, if anybody on the internet, you or anybody else goes on and clicks on Bitcoin revolution.
Bitcoin revolution.
Right.
I'll do that.
Bitcoin revolution. And there was a big lecture, an hour and a half, by an American here in Copenhagen. CEPAs.
Yeah. Oh, I hate CEPAs.
Yeah, they're bad. But
a big think tank.
Right. But the only good thing. The only good thing they've ever done is they made space possible for this guy to come here and talk about this.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
wait a second.
The two of us filmed it. It's on the internet. An hour and a half lecture on the internet.
Wait, just a second.
It's called Fucking the Banksters.
Fucking the Banksters.
Yeah. Join the Bitcoin revolution.
Hey, listen to this one. This is an American writer, Robert Anton Wilson. You ever heard of him?
No, but I'll remember it now. Look it up.
Now, the rich economy. Have you ever heard about the rich economy?
No, but I'm very exciting about it.
But listen.
Okay.
Now, I have been demanding for many, many years in this country. This is my country. I live here. This is my country.
It is, if you believe it.
Well, it is. It's
you.
You know, it's my ethnicity and all that. Vikings and all that. We're, you know, those tall, blonde Nordic assholes. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the rich economy, this is something that came out of Robert Anton. And he was, you know, Robert Anton Wilson. And, like, it means rising income through cybernetic homeostasis. And what it has to do is...
Good buzzwords there.
Well, yeah, I know. The thing is, like, it was about rising income through cybernetic homeostasis. It's like decentralization of all that, like, you know. And it's not got anything to do with gold or something. And like what they're talking about is like, well, what I'm talking about is give everybody Bauerlern.
Okay.
How do you say that?
Citizens' wages.
Citizens' wage. So they don't have to fucking worry about who's going to pay the goddamn rent.
Right.
Who's going to, you know, my water's been turned off, my electricity's been turned, I've been turned out into the street because I can't fucking pay my rent. Okay, so you get something like a coupon, you call it a negative interest coupon, payable about once a year, let's say, like, you know.
Okay.
And like it's going to devalue from what it was to almost zero after 1 year. So at the beginning of the year, you pay all your rent.
Who's issuing these?
The people.
The people.
Now, you see, the thing is, the state has got to learn that they are our servants,
Okay.
and not the other way around.
Exactly, that's what it's supposed to be.
So that makes
Right.
for a population of people who are, what do you call it, Turk?
Secure.
Secure, yes, right. You know, they don't have to worry about all that because all that's taken care of. Now, what we do now, and this is the whole damn thing about the growth. They've got to understand the fact that unemployment is a sign of health. That's a healthy sign.
Right.
We don't have to goddamn go dig goddamn salt out of the earth all the fucking time.
We want to be free from slavery.
Damn right. So like
Wage
what we
slavery
do,
or any kind of
yes,
slavery.
exactly.
Right.
So
We want to live.
let's open up the universities of people that no longer have to go
Right.
do this every day.
The free universities, like
And,
they had in
and
the,
they can go back to
Right.
school
Right.
and study, and they don't have to fucking worry about who's gonna pay the rent and all this shit.
basic
you know?
learning and not learning for the corporation.
Bettering yourself.
Right.
Yes. In order to find a, you know.
Hey, we got to ask you something here before we finish the interview, okay? And that's one thing that's I've been thinking about. A few days ago, the Danish foreign minister, Villy Søvndal.
Oh yeah, right.
From the-
I actually had voted for him. I don't know
Really?
why I did. But
Okay,
I did.
but I envy you because I should have voted after hearing this.
No, I mean, the
I
thing
wanted
is,
to vote
after
for
the
him.
results came
Okay,
in, you know,
but the guys, anyway, the foreign minister, he said that it's just too damn dangerous to join the, make a war and attack on Iran.
they're going to do that.
Israel,
They're gonna do
Israel
that.
wants to, yes, I believe they
They're
will
going
too.
to do that. I
But-
think they're warning us ahead, you know.
Okay, but anyway, the bourgeois newspapers, Berlingske Tidende, some people
All owned by
have
the
freaked
same-
completely out and calling this guy almost a traitor, not
Yes,
loyal.
Søvndal?
Yeah, for saying this, for not joining up against Iran in a new war. I would like to get your opinion. What is your take on the Danish foreign minister, Villy Søvndal, when he says this? What?
He's got his hands tied. You know, once he got into office, he found
doesn't-
out what the realities were. I mean, you know, and now he's got to navigate.
Have you supported the Danish peace movement, the Fredsvagten it's called?
Always.
The Peace Watch.
Always.
It's been running for 10 years now.
It's up there, yes. I come by every once in a while and sing him a song of encouragement.
This guy, the founder of the Peace Watch, Bo Rickard, right?
I can't
Bo Richard, yeah. Anyway, he and some other guys were mentioning and talking about this American who's been buzzing around and coming and helping us out and talking with whatever. But you've had, maybe he was talking about you, or are there a lot of Americans around here?
Well, I know a lot of Americans around here. I do. I mean, say some of my best friends are Americans.
Okay, hey, you want to make a final statement here for the interview?
Yes. We, the people of this planet, must unite and realize that we are being screwed 7 ways to I don't know where. We will not take this anymore. We are the guys that make the decisions. We, the people. We are the power. Power to the people.
Power to the people!
Fucking right.
Okay,
That was
great.
a good one.
Nice talking to you.